love to see an underdog winning, don't we? So Genesis, the purveyor of luxury cars that's a member of the Hyundai Motor Group, casually just walked out on the LA Auto Show and said, here are some of the coolest concept cars of the last decade. And easily the coolest concept cars of this year. Welcome, ladies and gents, to another discussion video. I've said this before, but I tend to avoid doing news type videos, especially considering that this news was announced the day before this recording. But I just had to make a video because this is some really cool stuff. And before we begin, full disclosure, nobody is paying me a dime to say any of this. I genuinely think what I do think about these concept cars. So let's not waste any more time and have a look. So Genesis has been teasing its Magma brand for quite a while now. And we already saw a bunch of concept cars like the Gran Berlinetta and the Vision Gran Turismo, the Le Mans Super Hypercar, and the GV60 concept, which now has a production model that was recently revealed at the same LA Auto Show. In fact, it was the only production model revealed at the LA Auto Show. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the concept cars that were shown. And I am saving the best for last, in my opinion, the best for last. So we're going to start with the mid-engine supercar. This is the Magma GT concept. It was painted, no it wasn't, it was penned rather, by Luc Donkervolk, who you might know is the designer of stuff like the Audi A2, the original Bentley Continental GT, and the Lamborghini Murcielago and Gallardo. The Magma GT is, as you can probably tell by looking at it, and by the butterfly doors, it's a concept supercar that's representing Genesis's dedication to performance cars and their intention to enter the world of GT racing. So along with Audi and Porsche and different manufacturers like that. And it's not about just entering GT racing with a race version of the Magma GT and then not giving us a production car. The Magma GT will go into production. And it will more than likely use a V8, a modified version of the V8 that's in the Le Mans hypercar, similar to what Toyota is doing with their Toyota GR something, I'm not sure what they're going to call the production model, and the Lexus, the spiritual successor to the LFA that we're currently referring to as the LFR. That's basically what's happening here, except that the Magma GT is mid-engine rather than front-engined, and it looks awesome. It looks like a proper supercar with the butterfly doors and everything. I also saw this short little video on social media. The dive planes in the front, the canards, are actually integrated into the headlights. And it's unmistakably a Genesis from every aspect of the design. It's just a supercar. There's no word on how much power it'll produce or when it'll go into production, but we just know that it will go into production. And at the time of recording, I also recently, like 15 minutes ago, saw a bit of news that the product team at Genesis wants to chase a similar model to the Porsche 911 lineup. So there might be a Roadster or Cabriolet, whatever you want, Spider perhaps, and there might be like a GT3 sort of track-focused version. Maybe that'll also mean a turbo and other various 19 different million variants of like there is with the Porsche 911. But for now, we have a newcomer to the world of supercars that's actually worth getting excited about. And because they have the backing from one of the biggest automakers in the world, it's not going to be vaporware like it is with so many of these random mid-engine supercars. I honestly think that the Magma GT would work excellently if it was a competitor to, say, the C8 Corvette, just a lower-end mid-engine sports car, but I don't think that's what they're going to go for. It's going to compete with the Z06 at least. And as a result, stuff like, well, the Porsche 911 and the... Crap, what else was there? The Ferrari... I kind of stopped keeping up with Ferrari vehicles. I don't remember what's the most recent... The 296, yes, the 296, and the McLaren Artura, and different things like that. The Lamborghini Temerario as well, so on and so forth. Amazingly, this wasn't the coolest car that they showed off at the LA Auto Show. This is just my personal opinion, but amazingly, the supercar was not the coolest. The coolest was this. The G90 wingback concept. As the name makes it clear, it's the G90 wingback magma concept. So in case the name didn't make it clear, this is a wagon version of the flagship S-Class sized G90. Do you remember back in the 1980s, there was the W126 Mercedes S-Class wagon? That's basically what this is. And then on top of that, it's also a performance model. From what I heard from the little scene demonstration, like the stage demonstration they had, one of the executives pulled up in this concept car, and it sounded like a V6, but the production model, if that were to happen, would include a V8. Now, I'm about to make a pretty bold statement, and I'm sorry if I'm going to offend somebody with saying this, but I'm going to say it. This is the best looking station wagon concept, or otherwise, of the past decade, and it's the coolest wagon concept of the past 20 years. Yeah, I know, I think I upset a lot of Audi people, or possibly even BMW people with this, but yeah, I really do mean that. Like, this is one of the greatest looking station wagons of all time in history. Yes, it's better than the RS6 Avant. Sorry, Audi people. And I'm somebody who absolutely loves the RS6 Avant. This looks better. So, what is all of this about? Well, the G90 wingback magma concept is what Genesis thinks an M5 Touring and Mercedes AMG E53, and obviously RS6 Avant rival should look like. And it's a risky model. That's a lot of something that the media is talking about. It's a pretty risky model. It might not have such big interest. But if they can prove themselves that they know how to build a fast wagon, because the fast wagon market is exploding right now, so many people want an RS6 Avant, and there's so much hype around it from TikTok and various different things. That kind of sucks, but regardless, there's a lot of hype. Fast wagons are cool. They've always been cool, if you ask me, but now they're even cooler. And with the M5 Touring coming out, it's a perfect time for a wagon like this. Granted, it's in a different size category, but look at it. It's amazing. Sorry. Anyway, if there were to be a production version of the G90 wingback, it would probably include a V8 of some kind. I don't know if it's going to be the same one that's in the hypercar and the upcoming Magma GT, but there could be a V8 because all of the competitors, except for the E53 AMG, have a V8. The E53 has a 6-cylinder engine. Maybe they can do something with the electric supercharged V6 that's in the regular G90. Maybe give it some hybrid assistance, because I don't care if it's a plug-in hybrid. If it looks like this, I'm going to forgive that. Anyway, I've been glazing the car's looks a little bit too much. As far as I'm concerned, Genesis shouldn't build the G90 wingback concept. They need to build the G90 wingback concept. I'm kidding mostly, but it's a fantastic model and it will draw a lot of attention to the brand, like the Grand Equator off-roader concept did, because that generated a pretty big buzz. Like, wow, what's this? Genesis is gonna build a G-Wagon and Ineos Grenadier stuff rival? Okay, cool, we'll pay attention. And now they're coming out with a supercar and the fast wagon and this and that. Okay, we're going to pay attention now. The G90 wingback concept could be the new alternative to the established German fast wagons, especially because it looks better. Did I mention that it looks better than all of them? Anyway, without getting too distracted, they also showed off the GV60 Magma, the only production model, as I said earlier, and it's basically a luxury version of the Ioniq 5N. Same dual motor setup, same 640-ish horsepower, and simulated gear shifts and different things like that. It's orange. It has wheels similar to that of an old GT3, like a 991 GT3, and it has a really ugly rear spoiler that Genesis claims is functional. I gotta be honest, this is the least exciting of all the cars that they showed here, but I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about the Ioniq 5N and how even though the fake engine sounds are Roblox and old Gran Turismo and blah blah blah, it's still kind of effective, making you feel like you're not driving an electric car and making the experience a bit more exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like in the GV60. Not that I'm going to drive it anytime soon, but I'm hoping to find out more from my colleagues in the automotive media. And that's about it for the concept cars shown off by Genesis. They also brought out the Gran Berlinetta concept. They brought out the hypercar as well on stage, so on and so forth. I personally think that this is truly exciting news. I'm going to try and be a little more grounded and sort of what's the word? I forgot the word. I'll put it on the screen if I remember. So I'm going to try to be a bit more grounded. This is great news. It's very difficult for a new brand to come into these segments, so a supercar and a fast wagon at the same time. And Genesis's idea seems to be get them with styling, and it's something that they've been rather successful at, but we still need to figure out how things are going to go. We need to see how things are going to go if there's going to be enough interest. I say that there needs to be interest in both of these types of vehicles because we know that Hyundai can build a good performance car. We know that Genesis can build a good luxury car. So this could totally work. And with these sorts of things, and especially having a presence in the world of motorsport, they're establishing a brand identity, and they're also establishing prestige and sort of, ooh, this is Genesis. There's multiple reasons why we'd want to buy a Genesis and blah, blah, blah. So I really hope that the Magma lineup continues to expand, and I really hope I get rich, so if the G90 wingback Magma concept goes into production, I can actually buy one. Whew, man. Okay, that's going to be about it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also, follow me on Blue Sky. There will be a link in the description. Let me know what you think of these concepts in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.